Well, now to one of the greatest mysteries in Metro Detroit. What happened to Jimmy Hoffa? It is a question that has been asked for decades, many theories behind it. If you can believe it, it's now been 50 years since his disappearance. Hoffa was last seen at a restaurant in Bloomfield Township on July 30th, 1975. Again, so many theories about what happened to the Teamsters leader. Last night, we heard one of them. There was a ticketed event called Hoffa Mystery Solved 50 years later. Former federal prosecutor Richard Covatino, crime writer Scott Bernstein, and former mob soldier Novi Tocco were all on the panel. They claim Hoffa was killed by Detroit mobster Tony Palazzolo. Palazzolo then allegedly bragged about being involved in this while an FBI wire was in place, saying he put Hoffa's body in a meat grinder.
It was said in a way, and I heard it, it wasn't lighthearted, it wasn't fun and games. It was a serious statement for a real purpose.
Well, sometimes the best way to lie is tell the truth. And knowing Tony, that's exactly what he would do. And the truth is so unimaginable that nobody believes it. And I think that's what happened here.
Well, Local 4 is working on a documentary about the anniversary of Hoffa's disappearance, and I'm joined now by photojournalist extraordinaire here at Channel 4, Jeffrey Jewell. He's producing that documentary. First of all, so what happened last night, totally separate event, and the theory about the meat grinder is just one theory of probably hundreds.
Yeah,
right?
It is. It's kind of just the latest. I think what sets this one a little bit apart is that it's three guys who have come together who all had kind of various perspectives on this, and they were able to bring that information together.
Kind of piecing little puzzle pieces together that weren't connected previously.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So, I think it has some credibility.
Has some
I'm
meat
not
there,
an expert, but good. I see what you did there. That's great. Yeah.
Okay, this documentary, did the idea come because we're 50 years, let's put something together? How'd this all start?
It did. It actually started several years ago. I met a woman who grew up in this milieu. Her dad and her grandfather were both Teamster local presidents up in Pontiac, and they were closely connected with Hoffa, and possibly associated with some of the other, criminal elements,
other things happening
surrounding this. Yeah, exactly. And she turned a lot of her memories into a stand-up act, and I met her and got involved with her, and with that, and through that met her dad, and then got some of these stories on the record, and then it just sort of expanded from there. So as we got closer to the 50th anniversary, it felt like the right time to kind of put this, plus the gentlemen that were in that clip there, we also interviewed all three of them.
Yeah, okay.
And kind of put all this together.
All right, well, we've got kind of like a trailer of the documentary. I want to show that, and then we'll talk more about it.
Okay.
All right.
March 10th, 1973.
At one time, Jimmy Hoffa could have shut this country down.
As the union grew, his power grew, and as the power in the union in Hoffa grew, the mafia grew. It worked really well until it didn't.
It was always known that you could get Teamster money from the pension fund here in Detroit for projects if they were big enough, as long as you were willing to do business with certain people.
I think the allure that someone could go missing that was high profile.
Because there's no body, the reason that the mythology keeps on building and feeding on itself is because there's no body. And I had a member of organized crime in Detroit say to me in the years before he died, if we had to do it all over again, we would have left him in the middle of Telegraph Road.
Do I know what happened to Jimmy Hoffa? Yes, I do.
But the government knows who done it, and I know who done it, but I ain't telling.
It was the perfect crime. It really was. It was the perfect crime. They were making it so everybody thought something different.
If I was guessing, he probably was cremated.
Now, I'm much more confident as to who did it, why, and what happened to Jimmy Hoffa.
I cannot wait. This looks so good. Are you happy with how it's come together?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. Just to have to talk to some of these people that were closely connected to this, even if some of the stories that we're getting into are sort of only peripherally related, just hanging out with them, hearing their stories. These are people that don't often talk to the media, you know, or share their stories publicly.
How did you convince some of these people to sit down and talk to you? You're just such a good-looking guy.
That's probably it. Yeah, yeah. I'm very charming when I want to be. I have my theories. You know, partly I think this story, just because it has lingered in the public's imagination.
Yeah.
People feel like, you know, maybe if they talk about it, you know, it's sort of, you know, will give them some, you know, publicity, notoriety as well. You know, there's that element, I think, that's connected to that. You know, I think people just keep asking, and so you know, these people out there that are still alive, and there's not many of them that are left alive, but you know, do have stories to tell.
Do you think the time element is a huge factor here? I mean, Nov Toko himself, you know, maybe that so much time has passed, he's willing to talk more about it?
Yes, I believe so. I think, you know, because so many of the people that were involved are gone now, you know,
he's safe.
Not a threat. Exactly, exactly.
Right.
I think that's it. I think it's just, you know, and even, you know, Rick Convertino, the former prosecutor who we interviewed, who's in that clip, you know, said that, you know, he's convinced that there's nothing will ever, you know, they have this theory, but it's only a theory, because nothing new will ever emerge, because all the evidence is gone, all the people are gone.
Well, you know, you look at modern day murders, right? And 9 times out of 10, you know, the adage is no body, no crime, right?
Sure.
And you look at some of these, and they're very, very difficult, if not impossible.
Yeah.
We've seen it a couple of times where they actually get a conviction without a victim.
Yeah.
I mean, now you're looking at something 50 years old.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So it's more almost, you know, and even they acknowledge that a couple times. A lot of it is just now kind of almost just for entertainment value.
Right.
We're having fun, you know, picking this one apart because, you know, true crime is kind of really, you know, kind of at a golden age right now, and this is sort of the granddaddy true crime mystery, right? So, but that's really it. It's kind of just almost just a fun kind of game.
So you've been working on this for years then.
Yeah, off and on. Yeah.
Which theory do you buy most? Or do you not want to reveal it yet?
No, that's a fair question. I mean, again, because these 3 guys, you know, have done so much of the work, and were able to come together and put these pieces together. I feel like theirs probably has the most credibility. I mean, for some of the more famous ones, I mean, they're ridiculous, buried under the end zone, you know, at Giant Stadium, or in the Rensen, or you know, some of the other things like that were clearly, and even, you know, some of these guys even were privy to information that said that some of the people involved spread these false theories. Just
intentionally.
Intentionally, yeah. So I think this one, you know, seems
being the meat grinder one.
Yeah, and just the who and the why and that kind of thing. I think it just,
especially with the players that are closely linked to it.
Exactly.
Talk to now.
Exactly.
Okay, and one last thing for you. If we'll say maybe that theory is true, but is the body? Let's ignore that theory. Yeah. Is the body still around, or was that destroyed? Just get rid of the evidence.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think that you know, just that would have been the smartest thing, right? I mean,
leave the body. So,
and several members, again, of organized crime that we've either talked to or gotten information from indirectly have said that the body was gone by 5 p.m. that day, July 30th. That all the digs and all the searches over the years, were totally pointless, because the best thing to do would have been to make sure that there was.
Right. Well, then you destroy the evidence too.
Exactly. So
I can't wait. Okay, Wednesday, 8 o'clock.
Wednesday, 8 o'clock.
Right. All right. Good job, man.
Cool.
That's
Thank
awesome.
You. Yeah.
Very cool.